6?
There's only one way the Chargers win this division.
Yeah.
Only one way.
Yeah.
If they get Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
No, I think there's a second way they win it.
How's that?
They come into Denver in the last game of the season and beat the Broncos. If you were to study history, and all of you study history out there, there have been at least 5 or 6 times that they played at the end of the season, and that's determined. Remember when Shanahan went into San Diego and got blown out in the last game?
Yeah.
And they didn't get into the playoffs, or they were a wild card or whatever. There was a time back in the 80s when the Chargers had Winslow and Fouts and all those guys. I was out there with them then. I don't know whether you were at that time. They go out there and lose like 6-0, and they lose. They're not even
When we asked the NFL, Riggs' schedule for Peyton Manning setting a record, I don't know about that, but I do know that the Chargers are playing the Broncos in the last game of the season because the NFL expects that to have great meaning for the AFC West. I do as well.
I don't get you guys. Seriously.
Well, this is what you don't get.
You're talking about games where Peyton Manning wasn't the quarterback.
You don't get that Peyton Manning is 39 years old, and he stunk in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
And John Elway cut his salary because John Elway knew he stunk.
I do get that, but I also get that the first half of the season, when he was healthy, he was great. And he's healthy again, according to everybody who's sat in this chair this week and works out with him. You guys don't get this. They've got 10 Pro Bowl players. They've got 10 Pro Bowl players on this roster.
And how many playoff games is those 10
one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history game who's healthy now. They've got a new attitude with a new coaching staff, and they are still the superior roster in the AFC West. How do you guys not get? And Peyton Manning never wins less than 11 or 12 games in any year.
Let me help you out here, son. Okay. For the first half of the season, Peyton Manning was an MVP candidate.
That's right.
Correct? Who was the other MVP candidate?
Phillip Rivers.
Thank you.
Who was one of them.
Okay, well, they're playing it. Phillip Rivers is healthy.
He was also
he had
not
a back
healthy.
problem. Well, so I'm saying you're dismissing Phillip Rivers and saying, well, Peyton Manning was the most valuable player for half
Phillip
the
Rivers
season.
is not surrounded by anywhere near the talent that Peyton Manning is. Nowhere even close. You know who his running back is? You know who his starting running back is right now?
Adrian Peterson.
No, might be some guy named Brandon Oliver. You know who is outside of the one kid, Keenan Allen, who's a pretty good receiver. Who else does he have?
Well, you say Brandon Oliver, say that in the same sentence with C.J. Anderson and ask the world, okay, who do you know?
C.J. Anderson
Brandon
might have
Oliver,
been the best
C.J.
running
Anderson.
back in football in the second half of the season. Maybe DeMarco Murray was better.
Oh,
maybe.
You think? I got it on.
Maybe.
Right
Although
on the
DeMarco
verge
Murray
of
was hurt the last
2,000
couple
yards.
of games.
Well, yeah.
You guys are discounting the strength of the division, and you're discounting the amount of talent on this roster.
So you're here. We're going to make a dollar bet. Reach out your hand. That last game, in your opinion, won't mean a damn thing.
Broncos are going to have at least a 2-game lead in the division.
I think you are totally wrong.
All right, well, we'll find out.
I will give them one more victory than them. If sitting here today with no draft.
You're going 11-5. You're going 10-6.
Today, and I reserve the right to change my mind after I see training camp.
I'll go 12-4.
Okay.
You're even talking about a wild card.
If you're 10-6, you're in contention for
You
a
might
wild
not
card.
even make the playoffs.
Yes, I don't remember. Did they ever win the Super Bowl by being a wild card?
I believe they
Yes, they
did.
did.
Did they ever go on the road and win 3 games?
10-6 might not even get you into the playoffs.
Oh.
That segment brought to you by John Elway Cadillac.
That segment was good.
Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealer.